जितना रखे खेले।
ओवरऑल थोड़ा अनफॉर्चुनेट रहा है कि थोड़े से क्लोज मैचेस हम लोग ने हारे हैं। आई थिंक विमेन सिंगल्स में दोनों मैच हम लोग काफ़ी क्लोज हारे हैं और मेन सिंगल्स में भी आयुष का दिन बहुत ही अच्छा था। But the second day was a little bit of a disappointment, or the third day was decent. But overall, I think you were decent in that sense. I won't be too worried about it. Some days these things do happen. But the next time around, I'm hoping that, or the Asian Games, I'm hoping for better performance.
आज के मैच के बारे में बताइए, कैसे लैग हो गया? पहला गेम जीतने के बाद दोनों चले गए गेम्स।
I think till the second game, mid part, they were quite there in the match, and suddenly they didn't contact the shuttle as much as I would have really liked, and then they just lost it. But also credit to the Chinese girls because they were serving very well, because there was a good amount of spin and tumble on the serve, and then on the first return, they were hitting very hard on the parallel. So I think Gayatri's and Treesa's chance of getting on the attack from the very beginning was not happening. But overall, happy with the way they played.
Gopi sir, could you share any experience of your own words, experience with Treesa and Gayatri? Any tips for them?
No, I think, of course, as a coach, you share those share things, but not necessarily like your experiences. Right? Over time, whatever are the experiences.
Gopi, the most asked question after the high of winning and beating the Chinese, how was difficult, or what did you have to tell the girls to kind of back to focusing on the next challenge?
I think they did well. I think, of course, they must have been excited here or when they go out, but I think overall, by the time they reached the hotel, I think the recovery had started, and food and rest and off their phones. So all those basic hygiene things were done, and they prepared well. Yes, they couldn't win today, but overall they were.
Congratulations,
one second.
Congratulations, Gopi.
Thanks, Anand.
I want to ask you broadly. Patience has been a theme that has been recurring here in the media zone here. But I'm sure there's far more than patience going between the coaches and the players while the games were on. Now that their games are done, will you be able to throw some light on what else kind of helped them? What were the keys to their success this week beyond patience?
Well, I think overall they have a naturally good game, a decent serve. Both of them serve well. Smash wise, Treesa is very good. Gayatri is very strong at the net. They get those rhythms, patches of rhythms, which they've been very, very good at. And I think the atmosphere and the stadium is also, it's a big hall, right? So it's you can see some very long matches happening. So you can't just get a point. You have to earn a point. So you can't just be in a hurry and play a stroke to get a point. You have to work yourself. So patience is something which is spoken about, and basically it just means that you can't be in a hurry. You have to be quick. You have to be fast, but not necessarily in a hurry. And that's what patience would mean. And at the end of it, to get back and stick to your strategy is what's important.
Coach, a very good comeback, from the injury. Couple of questions. One, what is the most striking aspect of their badminton this tournament? And also that they seem to be rotating a lot more. So just tell us a bit more about that.
We worked on it, and I think it's whatever we've worked in the last 6 weeks has helped, and it's good to see when the practice which you do actually gives you dividends on court. So it's all of these things we had worked on.
So what was the most striking aspect you'd think of? Like, what was that best thing you found about their badminton this tournament?
I think it's a revelation how Treesa kept charging at the net and started taking control. That was good. Gayatri's backcourt has been good, and the rhythm on her serve, which is very good. I think these two aspects, and at the crucial moments, they were able to pull through.
Thank
Gopi
you.
sir, we have one medal in men's singles, women's singles, men's doubles, and women's double, not yet in mixed double. So can you tell us more about the performance of Tanisha and Dhruv and what their prospects for future? That area I think we need to improve upon, I think.
I think this is how I'm glad we are asking these questions, because when Saina won for the first time in 2008, she went on 2008 when she reached the quarters. So the question was men kai, and then men's doubles kai, women's doubles kai. So we are ticking one box at a time, and hopefully mixed doubles will be the next.
No, can you just tell about their performance? Like,
Yeah,
Gopi sir, I mean, obviously, that's a great result of the coach, but I mean, I have to ask this question. You're also, there must be some emotions as a father when to see your daughter perform so well.
Well, to be honest, I don't know if I can articulate it in that sense, but I think whenever my players have played, I think I've always had the same feeling, and there's no extra for Gayatri more than I've had for any of my players. So I think.
Gopi sir,
One second.
Gopi sir, when Gayatri, after playing singles in the junior years, when she told you that she wanted to play doubles, how did you encourage that decision, and do you think that was the right call now?
Yeah, I think it's the right call.
बेटी को अर्जुन अवार्ड मिला उसको
Gopi sir, now that the World Championship is done, the next target is Asian Games. So, how is the Indian badminton team going to prepare? What specific areas are you going to look at as a the coach?
Well, I think as of now, what's happening is that each one has a dedicated team allotted to them. So we have Laksh, we have Ayush, we have whether it's Srikant, Pranoy, or Tarun, or whether it's the girls of Sindhu and Unnati and Tanvi, Devika. All of them have a dedicated team, so they get back to work. Some of them are playing tournaments. They play the China Open. So I think they're all now in a stage of their career that they're all professional in that sense. They have a team to work along. So we get along and move on to the Asian Games.
Sorry.
Also, to just make a point, one other point is that the team is really pumped up. Whether it's Thomas Cup, I think the players themselves do a lot of work to get together and build the camaraderie in that sense. So that's what we are hoping will work out.
What could they have done differently, especially against a pairing that gets more aggressive as the match sort of progresses?
Sorry, as the
What could Gayatri and Treesa have done differently in their thoughts, especially against a pairing like that, which is hyper aggressive as
yeah. Well, I think once they lost the attack as much because they were not contacting it or the drift was there, which was very difficult. And also, they got a tumble on the serve, which was very distinct. So what was happening is the moment you push it, the next return was very fast. And then you were engaging in the parallel game as much. So in my book, I think you don't have too many options. The one option you could do was just lift the first serve and then start blocking or counter attacking from the smash. That's one. But then when you are under 3-point deficit, then that becomes very difficult to be calm and execute that strategy. So in that sense, I'm okay with it. In the sense, you have to battle that. In the sense, there's not much in the sense you can't run away from when people push the pace. You have to get into it.
Yeah, it.
No, I actually had the same question. And this spin serve, tumble serve, the fast four shots is an area. Even Satvik Chirag also said the same thing. Sometimes it becomes more important. So, do you think like Indian players specifically have to work a little more on this?
Yeah, I think both ways, right? In the sense, in the first game, Gayatri got the serve. Yesterday, she got patches which were phenomenal. So 7, 8, 9 points in one patch. So she does that well as well. Shuttle starts tipping. So I think it just takes away the matches quality in that sense. In the sense, especially women's doubles are still okay, but men's doubles is so much dependent on the first four strokes, so the rallies don't even start off. And for an outsider to actually, as in from television or something, it's so subtle that you can't even watch what's happening. It's like, yeah, why is the mistake happening? Because there's so much of tumble there, and you have very little chance of doing anything outside. So it's a tricky thing, but rightly said. I think there are few players who are doing it well, and in India also there are few players who are starting to do it well.
Gopi sir, a word separately on Lakshya Sen and PV Sindhu. They were expected to go a little deeper into the tournament. So a word on both of their performance.
Well, I think Sindhu's was a bit too close. A bit unfortunate she lost that match the way she did. But I think going back to her Japan Open win and her performance here, I think she's definitely doing very well.
और सर
Lakshya sir,
Lakshya, I think this tournament was bad, unfortunate. I don't specifically know what the reasons were in that sense, but Lakshya's been somebody who over time has been very consistent. You know, Ajay.
गोपी सर, मैच से जीत हार से हटके एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट मोमेंट था आपके लिए, बेटी को जब अर्जुन अवार्ड दिया गया, क्या उस मौके को कैसे देखते हैं आप? इमोशनली कैसे कहते हैं?
I think, as I've said, I think I'm very proud of what she's played. I think भगवान की कृपा है कि एक फैमिली में
Those were Arjun awardees.
yeah, दो प्लेयर, दो अर्जुन अवार्डीज या ऐसा कम होता है. I'm grateful to God for giving her, and yes, I think very proud of her performance and her results, and the way she's conducted herself, and also the
Thank you.